Okay, a complex number is a number that can be written in the form a plus bi. I'm going to use a different color here. A is the real part, and b is considered the imaginary part. And a and b are real numbers. They can be any number including 0. But when b is 0, then you have like the regular numbers that we've always used. So we're going to use complex numbers to solve simple equations. So we're going to start with this. We're going to find values of x and y that will make the equation true. So we will have 2x plus 6i equals negative 8 plus 20y, and this is the imaginary. So how do we solve this? Well, it is fairly simple. We're just going to take the real part and we're going to make them equal to each other, and then we will take the imaginary part and we will make them equal to each other. So we have that the real part includes 2x and negative 8. So that's what I'm going to write. I will write 2x equals negative 8. And I'm going to ignore everything else. And then I'm going to take the imaginary part without the I, and I'm going to make it equal to each other. 6 equals 20y. Just like that. And then I'm going to solve the equations. So for this one, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So x equals negative 4. And that's the answer. And for the imaginary, I'm just going to divide both sides by 20. So then I have y equals 6 over 20. But of course we can simplify this as 3 over 10. So y equals 3 over 10. And just that. That's all you have to do. Let me try another example. Let's work now on negative 8 plus 6y I equals 5x minus I square root of 6. So today I got feedback from first period and fourth period mainly about the test, that you guys struggle with it and you're looking for something that will help your grade. So if you're still watching this and if you're still listening to this, you will send me an email and you will get extra credit on your test. There are only some points that I'm going to allow. I'm going to distribute those points amongst the first ones who send the email. So don't share this with your classmates. So if you are listening to this, send me an email as soon as you hear it, and then you will get some extra points on the test you took today. Okay? Don't share it. The more you share, the less points you will get for yourself. So let's continue with this. We're going to make this, the real part, equal to each other. So negative 8 equals 5x. And then we're going to make the real part equal to each other. So 6y equals negative square root of 6. And notice I'm ignoring the i's. We don't need the i's. And then we're just going to solve this. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. So x equals negative 8 over 5. If you don't know, my email address is lb like boy montes montes @epise.org. It has to be done as soon as you see this video. As soon as you hear this, send me the email. I'm going to divide this by 6. So y equals negative square root of 6 over 6. And then that's the answer. Just so you know, this offer is valid only before I see you guys on Friday. Once I see you, that's it. You won't get the extra credit, okay? Well, So that's it for finding the values of x and y that will make the equation true. And we have two more things to learn today. First, we're going to find the zero, so we're going to go back to completing the square. So this is a further review for completing the square. So let's say that I have f of x equals x squared plus 4x plus 13. On the email, I'm going to tell you what I want you to write on the email in a few minutes, so you still have to watch, okay? F of x equals, we're going to complete the square. The instructions for this is to find the zeros, which means basically to find the answer for this function. So we're going to find the zeros by completing the square. So I'm going to complete the square by doing the b over 2 squared that we've been doing for the past few days. The value of b is 4. So 4 over 2, 2. That squared is 4. And of course, if I'm adding 4, I have to subtract 4 plus 13. If you're struggling with this, remember to watch the videos for completing the square. You should know how to do this. Okay, so f of x equals x plus 2 squared, negative 4 plus 13, that is positive 9. So we have to solve this. So I'm going to make this equal to 0. I'm going to have x plus 2 squared plus 9 equals 0. I subtract 9 from both sides. So it's going to be x plus 2 squared equals negative 9. We're going to square root both sides. So it's going to be x plus 2 equals plus minus. The square root of negative 9 is going to be 3i. Because the square root of 9 is 3, and then the square root of negative 1 is I. So 3i. Then we subtract 2 from both sides. So the answer will be x equals negative 2 plus minus 3i. We need another example for completing the square, and we're almost done with this video. So let me just delete this. Okay, so another example will be g of x equals x squared minus 8x plus 18. So we're going to complete the square, so it is g of x equals x squared minus 8x. So to complete the square is b over 2 squared. So negative 8 over 2, negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. And if I'm adding 16, I have to subtract 16 and then plus 18. And we're going to factor this. So it will be g of x equals x minus 4 squared. We're factoring this. Remember, it is a perfect square trinomial. Negative 16 plus 18 is going to be plus 2. And then we have to solve this. So it will be x minus 4 squared plus 2 equals 0. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So it's x minus 4 squared equals negative 2. We square root both sides. So we will have x minus 4 equals, the square root of 2 is going to stay like that, but I'm going to take out the negative value. So the square root of negative 1 is I. So it will be I square root of 2. And then we add 4 to both sides. So the answer will be x equals 4 plus minus I square root of 2. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to cover in this video are complex conjugates. Again, it is a pretty straightforward concept. Let's say that I have 9 minus I, and then you're asked for the conjugate. You just have to change the sign of the imaginary part. So you make sure that it is written like this. First the real part, then the imaginary part, and then you switch the sign. So the complex conjugate will be 9 plus I. Now for this one, Let's write I plus square root of 3. So the first thing, I'm going to write it in standard form. Like I'm going to write the real part first, square root of 3 plus the imaginary part. And then I change the sign of the imaginary part. So square root of 3 minus I. And the last example, if I have negative 8i, well, I don't have a real part, I only have the imaginary part. So the complex conjugate will be just, 8i. The email you're going to send if you're listening to this is going to be just portable 9. Just write portable 9 on your email and make sure that you identify yourselves. Write your name, write the period, and write the student ID. Again, do not share this because I don't have a lot of points to distribute, and they will be distributed only amongst the ones who send the email. This is extra credit for the test you took today, and it is only available before Friday, before I see you on Friday. Okay, so this offer ends, let's say, at Thursday, 11:59 p.m. That's it. It's going to be gone after that. Bye.